Welcome to the TechHub.training Excel Mega Texas Taxes Challenge Solution. We're going to pull up our data right here, and I have all of the formulas in their own columns. We're going to go over those, and then I'll show you how to make them a mega formula. So first, starting off is we need to get rid of, have any of the columns that have either say Texas or county. We want them to be a blank because we're not going to aggregate the taxes for that column because they aren't for the city taxes, they're for separate state taxes. So right here I used is number. So first it's going to search this one to see if it says Texas. So for example, it does find Texas in here, and that's going to return the number of that the string is, the T is in Texas. That's what the search is going to do. So then if it is a number, it's going to come back with true, and then it's going to replace that whole entire column. That string is a blank instead. Same thing with the county. And then I was having some issues, so I just trimmed it to get rid of the leading and trailing white spaces. And this is what I did for most of them. I just used substitute, because on this one we don't want to get rid of the whole entire string. We just want to get rid of that TX part. And so I'm just substituting that TX for space. Then we're going to sub city, MTA, ATD, special, crime control, fire control, municipal development district. And then here's one of the more tricky ones, is we're trying to remove the zip code. There's a lot of ways you could probably do this. This is the way that I did it, is you have the zip code, which 5 or 6 numbers. And if we go in here, you go formulas right here up at the top and you hit evaluate formula. You can go through step by step of your formula to help understand it. And so for this one, we're going to get Round Rock right there. And it's going from the right of Round Rock, so it's going to get D Rock. But if it was a number, it would come up with the number. And then it's going to say, is this a number? It's not, it's false because it was an error. And so then it is not going to substitute out the number part. Right here, that's if it was true. See, it's going to substitute out the number part of to the right. It's just actually going to return back already what it was. So you can see it's going to turn back. There's no error, so it's just going to return Round Rock. And then I trimmed it one last time. And so we want to turn this into a mega formula, which is going to be one big formula that's only referring to column F. So how you do this is you're going to go through each step and substitute what it's referring to in each of these columns, because you want it just to refer to column F. So I'll go through the first few, and then I'll show you how it's going to look in the end. So you can see here, this one is just referring to column F, so that one's fine. But then we go here, this trim is referring to column G. So what we do is we take all of column G except for the equal sign. I'm going to copy it. Just copy it. And then I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to take out the part that's saying at blank for Texas and county, because it's referring to that cell. And I'm going to paste what is inside that cell already. And I'll copy it down. And as you can see now, instead of referencing cell G, I'm still only referencing cell F. And then we're going to go here, and same thing. Right there is the H2. And so I'm going to take this, copy and paste where H2 is. I'm going to copy and paste the formula that's in H2. And so now, again, I have a formula that's only referring to the column F. Same thing here, I'm referring to I2, as you can see, so I'm going to copy and paste right here. I2, I'm pasting the whole formula. And so now again, it's still only referring to column F, but I'm completing all of my steps. And so you're going to go through and you do that all the way, step by step. And then at the end, what you want to do to check is make sure that if you could, right here, as you can see, it's only referencing column F, so I could delete these 3 columns now. And it doesn't mess up my formula because I wasn't referring to any of those. You want to make sure you go step by step for each column. And when you get to, like, for example, this one, this is a lot harder because it's referencing that column M a lots of times. So every time it has that at sub municipal development district, you're going to copy and paste the whole entire formula inside. So we would go through each step, so this would be a lot longer formula, but just to give an example, so I'm going to copy that. And I would go through, and every single time it has that, I would paste that whole entire formula. And I would do it again for those two. Okay, and then I'd go through, and then my city column would be my mega formula. And so if we go to this column, right here, the city is now my whole entire mega formula. And this obviously looks very big and confusing, but because we did it step by step before, we can actually understand what the formula is doing. And if you ever only have a mega formula, you can always use this evaluate formula to understand what's happening. I personally always just keep my formulas spread out somewhere just in case I am confused. But that just makes it easy because you can copy and paste that in somewhere and it's going to work every time for you. And I just copied and pasted the data. I filtered it by city and I filtered out the blanks, as you can see. And I copied and pasted that onto a new sheet just because when you pivot, it will do it based on the hidden cells as well. So I just want to make sure there's no hidden cells. And then I do a pivot table right here. And it's just the rows of the city, the values of the sum of the tax, and your answer should equal the same answer as me right there. Thank you so much for doing this challenge, and I hope you are ready to now go try and do some more. Thanks.